Polygamy, which is the marrying of more than one wife by an Igbo man, has become a very sensitive issue in the Igbo society today. Now, but the truth is that polygamy is an important part of Omenana Igbo and is well accepted and acknowledged by our people as a man's legitimate right, if he so chooses, to have multiple women as mothers of his household. It's true Cantonese Soko, and I'd like to welcome you to another interesting and engaging episode at Voice of the Sun. Today we'll be discussing the importance of polygamy in Igbo culture and highlighting the importance of polygamy in the past and in today's world, and also looking at the disadvantages and advantages, if there are any, concerning this topic which makes society to go haywire. Now, today, when you talk about polygamy, society, women begin to, protest, begin to argue, and begin to say polygamy is bad, is evil, and then they go to the length of attacking men, who marry more than one wife on social media, calling them all sorts of names, wishing them bad, wishing them evil. Of course, some men join them in this rage. I'll call it social rage, of seeing polygamy as something that should not be done at all, should not be talked about at all. Any man who marries more than one wife is evil, he's wicked, he hates women, he's anti-women. And this has built up to a point where, as a society, we now see polygamy as a topic that should not be discussed, as a culture that should not be gone close to. But then, to help us understand why polygamy is a necessary Igbo culture, the benefits in the past and the present, I want us to calm down and let us discuss. Let us look at how our ancestors practiced and viewed polygamy. Now, when a man in the past, Ndi Igbo, wanted to marry, now, before a man even wants to marry, it's established, like I said before, that a man can marry more than one wife. So it's already in the psyche of everyone then that you're marrying this woman, you might actually bring in another woman into the home, or bring in a third one or a fourth one. Now, before the man goes ahead to marry a second wife, he tells his wife of his intentions to marry another woman. He tells his father, he tells his mother, he tells his kinsmen, and that's one. So meaning he does not just go and marry another wife and bring into the house. His wife is in the know, and she has to agree. Even if she does not agree, she must know. Now, there is something else we also do in our culture. The woman can also decide to marry a wife for herself under her husband's roof, meaning that she can go ahead and say, this is our family, we have like 5 children, but we need like 5 more children, and the family needs to expand so that we have more hands for farming and other things and protection. So my husband needs another woman in this house. So she goes ahead to marry another, pays the bride price of another woman, and brings the woman into the house under the roof of her husband. So the woman is married to her, but is also a wife to the husband. Do you understand? It looks complex, but our ancestors found a way to find balance in everything they did. Now that's one, the second one. Now the third one is the man and woman can actually agree for the woman to choose who will become her co-wife, and then the man goes ahead to marry the woman. Or the man chooses who will become his second wife, and the woman will get to agree that, okay, yes, right? And also the fourth way which our ancestors made sure that polygamy was, peaceful and something that society welcomed and loved was that there was mutual respect among the wives. The first wife is the head of the household. when it comes to the women and the children in that family. If there are 5 wives and 25 children, the first wife remains the head, governing over that section of the family, while the man is the head of the house. So if the man is away or goes to the farm or goes to tap palm wine or goes for Zenozo meeting, the woman heads the home, the first wife heads the home till he returns. Now, she is the head of the home, like I said. There's no disrespect, except for a few times when there are, human errors, quarrels, and all of that. But aside from that, our society understood the headship of the first wife. And there was nobody scheming to become the head. The second wife is not scheming to become the first wife, trying to displace her now. She maintains the head. And that way, our homes were peaceful. Now, one other thing that's about polygamy then was that our ancestors, each woman had her own hut. Not today when if a man wants to marry, he goes to put 2 women inside 1 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, or even if it's 10-bedroom. Then, each wife has her own hut built for her and her children. And then building was easily affordable because a man did not need to pay millions to an architect to build a house. It's just him and his friends who come together and build a house. He cooks food, they eat, and each time they drink and they go. So it was easy to build huts then. So polygamy then had its own structure and had its own beauty. Now, what were the benefits of polygamy in the past? One was more children. At that time, children were, till today, but as at that time, in the past, children were considered a part of a man's wealth. A man who had more children was considered wealthy. A man who had a large family was considered wealthy. So, some of the benefits of polygamy was more children, wealth, and a large family. And then also fighting mortality rates of children. So, a man has more children. When he has more children, when he's going to the farm, he has more hands on the farm. When there is insecurity in the land, there's a fight, he has more people to defend him. So more children meant more wealth and more security. And then, at a time when a woman might give birth and the child would die, let's say out of 10 children that a man might give birth to, 4 might die or 5 might die. There was high mortality rate at that time, although it was not universal for all parts of Igbo land. But when you see that children not surviving childhood was possible, men married more than one wife so that they could replicate themselves into as many children as possible. So that if you give birth to 20 children and 5 or 6 or 7 do not survive childhood, you'll be left with 13 or 14, right? But if you give birth to 2, 3 children and just lock up with one wife or 4 children, 4 of them die off and they don't get to pass 10 or 12 years and they all die off, you go to start from the beginning again, looking for a new wife and all of that. So polygamy was seen as a way to fence off child mortality, right? So now we practice polygamy for economic reasons, like I said, and for procreation, and not necessarily because the man had high libido. In as much as men in those days were high performers, unlike men today. But it's not a matter of the man is a sex star or he wants to just be randy and be chasing women. That's why he's marrying more women. It's not about libido. The men married more women because of certain reasons, certain benefits. A larger family, more children, a bigger society, and all of that. And this is because agriculture was the main source of revenue for our forefathers. And having many children made economic sense. Because it will have more, if you have more hands on the farm, you will have more cash crops. And more cash crops, more yams, more cash crops will lead to economic power. So you see a man working with Obaji Buli, large yam ban. It's not because he alone farms the whole farm. Yes, a man has to be strong. You will cultivate much of the farm. But if you have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 sons who help you out, of course, you will outdo a man who has 2 sons, no matter how hardworking he is. So our ancestors, they understood the concept of Igbo Bike, and as such, wanted large families for security and expansion of the village, like I said. And if we take that forward, we'll see that polygamy in the past was not frowned at. It was beneficial to our society. For the man, for the wives involved, and for the children. Now, what is the benefit of polygamy today? Today, where everybody is saying, no, polygamy is evil. You cannot marry more than one wife. You hate the woman, you don't love her. What can you go and bring another woman? Do we now, is there a benefit for polygamy in this age and time? The answer is yes. So now, what some of the benefits of polygamy, is that still boils down to more children, family wealth, satisfying the sexual appetite of a man, of course, and then allowing women to chase their careers. Now, for more children, a man who has 2 sons, and these 2 sons go ahead to have 2 sons, it means the male in the family is just about 2 plus 4 is just about 6 males in the family. And then, if something strong that needs financial muscle comes out or needs high connection, these men might not be able to muscle a man who has 20 sons, who are all doing well. So you see it in a home where, let's just say, you have 6 sons, or you have 2 sons who have 2 sons, and now you're a grandfather, and the man dies. These 2 sons have 2 sons each who are still growing up. They might not contribute to, say, a burial or any other thing the family wants to do. So he only have 2 sons, and they say they are multimillionaires. You can't compare them to a man who has 10 multimillionaires in his family, who, when they need to do a burial, your burial might not be as much as eloquent as that one. Or if a member of that family loses his business crashes, and he needs to be built back up. When your 2 sons are bringing 5 million to help one of their brothers or one of their brother's son, these 10 sons are bringing 5 million. So this is 10 million and this is 25 million. You see, more children translates to more wealth, even in this age and time. Right? And then we now go to satisfying the man's sexual appetite. I don't subscribe to the fact that a man has to have lots of side chicks everywhere, all over town. With the rampant diseases and STDs and all of that. You sleep here, you sleep here. You reduce your essence and worth as a man. So instead of sleeping all over town, why not marry a second wife to satisfy your sexual urge? If sexual urge is what your problem is. Right? So these are some of the benefits of polygamy today. Now, the 4th one, which is very, very vital, is allowing women to chase their career. Now, it's obvious today in our age and time that women are saying equality. A woman has to chase her career, a woman has to work. Unlike the days of our parents, our mothers. So, we hardly have housewives anymore. So, for a woman that wants to chase career, you can't basically be chasing career and then be nurturing children, right? So, rather than stay locked in child nurturing all through 25 to 35 to 40, because it takes time to nurture children. If you would have 5, 6 children, it would take years, 15, 20 years to nurture them till the last one comes up and enters boarding school, secondary school. So, for a woman who now says, I can't stay all my adult life, my active life to nurture children, I want to chase career, she would say, no, I just want 2 children, I want 3 children. Now, if the husband wants 6, 7, 8 children, there's already a conflict of ideas and needs. The woman wants 2 to 3 children, the man wants 8 or 5 or 6. So it's simple. The man should go ahead, marry another wife who would bet him more children. So by the time they are at their 40s, 45, 50s, the man has his 6 to 7 children. This woman has her 2 children, 3 children. She has chased her career. This woman has her 2, 3 children. She has chased her career. Everybody's happy. So these are the benefits of polygamy in this age and time when equality is ready. So polygamy is also better than divorce. This divorce we see in the Western culture where a woman marries this month. By next 6 months, she has divorced the man. She shares the property. She goes with the children. She marries another man. Before 10 years, the woman has married 4 men, 5 men, 6 men. The man on his own has married 5, 6 women too. But they hail that as something that is right. But then our Western culture said that polygamy is bad. Polygamy creates stability. You marry one wife. If you're having issues with the woman and you feel you need some form of space, you marry another wife. If you need some form of, you need another woman, Yes, in as much as women will say, what of the woman's feelings? This is Africa. This is Igbo land. It's our culture. And I know people say culture should be thrown away. This one, for the benefits it portends, should not be thrown away. So I believe polygamy is way better. This culture of divorce that is rampant in society, you marry this one, you can't be patient enough, you want the next one, and then this culture of side chicks all over town. Before a lady gets married, she has dated over 10 married men. Then she now enters another man's house to become wife. What kind of wife are you? You understand? So I believe polygamy has advantages over divorce and all the whole side chicks who are running up and down. And one thing we also have to know is that polygamy is not for everybody. It's not for everyone. My ancestors did not marry 2 wives. My father did not marry 2 wives. I'm not married to more than 1 wife. My grandfather did not marry more than 1 wife, and so forth. There are families who have more than 1 wife in my town. You know, it's not for everybody. It's as simple as that. If you feel you can marry more than 1 wife, you should go ahead and marry more than 1 wife. If you feel you don't want to marry, the culture is not a must. It's not a culture that is a must. Monogamy and polygamy existed in Igbo culture. A whole lot of things even existed in Igbo culture. Ways for families to grow, ways for families to be whole. There are other parts of our culture where if a man cannot impregnate his wife, he can get his brother to sleep with his wife to get pregnant. If a man wants a particular kind of lineage in his family, a family that are very intelligent, he can tell his wife, go and get a man from there. Not get a man. Either get a man or marry a woman from there. There are different ways our culture made things to be whole, right? So polygamy, like I said, is not for everyone. If you don't want to marry more than 1 wife, don't marry more than 1 wife. But for those who want to marry more than 1 wife, society should not crucify them for choosing to marry more than 1 wife. But before you marry more than 1 wife, let your wife know, let your parents know, let your in-laws know, let your kinsmen know. It's not something you go and do in the back and then do tada. It will cause problems. You understand? So now, we must also look at the influence of colonizers in reshaping the minds of our people. Before now, the reason why I wanted to look at polygamy from the past and now is because there has been a paradigm shift between how our ancestors saw things and how we now see things. And how did that happen? That's because we were invaded by the British. They brought in their government structure, they brought in their religion, they brought in certain cultures of the Western world that they infused, said that they were the ones that were better and our own were inferior and evil and all of that and bad. Now, these cultures they brought in over time have now been made to be the norm. So if you want to look at where our people started to see polygamy as a sin, we'll go back to the advent of Christianity and colonization. Without the lies and propaganda told against our culture, Igbo women will not be killing themselves and fighting to term everybody who supports polygamy as an evil person. Our people were brainwashed to see the things about us as evil, and that is where some of our problems came from, right? So, in conclusion, I also think that Igbo men should marry more than 1 wife to reduce the amount of unmarried young women in society and to also build a morally mature society. We can't deny the fact that the amount of unmarried women are increasing. They are in their numbers. Women between 25-35 who are jostling, running up and down, looking for every crusade. They are there with pictures of men. They are praying for husband. Every revival, they are going to Dibia's house. They are going to pastor's house. They are praying for husband. It now seems as if husbands are scarce. Husbands are not scarce, in as much as economic factors and other factors limit how men can be able to provide for themselves and also provide for a woman and marry the woman. There is also an abundant amount of women who should be married by other men, good women too, who should be under the protection of men, give birth to the children for the men, and also help in the nurturing of that family. Let us see polygamy as the growth of our society. Let us not see it from the individualistic aspect. this whole soulmate thing, one man, one wife, it does not, it's yes, it works for some people, but let us look at the broader Igbo society. Let us build a society where we have large family structures, where love and respect, mutual love and respect is shared. So yes, let men marry more than one wife so that we'll reduce the amount of our sisters outside. And then, but for those who want to, if you don't want to, it's fine. It's fine. So this is where we'll come to the end of this particular episode. I remember my humble self, True Candidate, so-called Voice of the Sun. Wherever you find this video, on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube, on LinkedIn, wherever, do drop a comment. Tell us your opinion about polygamy and what you think, if it's good or if it's not good in today's time. And if it was good in our ancestors' time and how they did it well, that we should do it now to make our society better for Ndi. So, this is all content of this episode. Till I see you again, till I come your way again, call them,